Hello, this is Soundout here, and welcome back to Sonic Week. Today, we are looking at the best Sonic the Hedgehog figure line ever, and I love them. I have them all, aside from Silver, but we'll get into that at the end. Let me say this to start. These guys are tiny. Very tiny. That is a 4-inch Power Ranger figure who is almost twice the size of Sonic. They're very small. They are very, very small figures. And they're about, I think they're 3-inch scale is what Jazzworth said. But don't let the size turn you off from these, because these are better than any other Sonic figures out there. Well, you know, the Superposer's Tails is kind of good. Is probably a close second. But these are the best Sonic figures ever. I mean, well, let me show you. So, of course, we're starting off with Sonic the Hedgehog, the first figure to be released, as there is a franchise named after this guy. He is part of the Series 1 collection that came out a while back, almost a year or so. It was originally Toys R Us exclusive, but after Toys R Us lost the license in October of 2010, I believe, it was 1 October, I'll tell you that much, they started going to stores like Sam Goody and local comic stores and such. I got mine at Sam Goody, and yeah, it started the madness of the 3-inch figure line. Personally, I love this figure. Basically, it's the 5-inch version, shrunk down and improved. How do I start? Basically, you have the figure here. What I like about each of these figures, aside from a few exceptions, they come with these cool little stands with one peg, and then there's a hole in their foot. So they can stand if they have issues. Now, the body is made of PVC plastic. Everything except for the head is PVC plastic, so can bend in packaging, considering the wonky poses they're put in. So just be careful of that. It's always best to check out the 3-inch figures. Look at them in the store. Look them over, make sure there isn't anything wrong, because, you know, you get mishaps like that, which I couldn't have predicted in package. But anyway, basically, you got Sonic here, which is a better face sculpt, actually. It looks more like Sonic than the 5-inch version does. So, props to that. You got the eyes there, the head. The spines aren't posable, but that's okay. It looks very, very nice, down to his abdomen area type thing here. I don't know. I'm doing very bad on biology here. Down to his fists, which are all molded and painted. And down to his shoes, which even have the little gold buckles. This is amazing. This figure is still tiny. This can fit in my pocket, and I won't even realize it's in my pocket. And then his head will snap off, and then I'll be sad. Anyway, of course, it's got articulation. You got a 360 neck joint. I would be careful not to stress it too much. Outward shoulders, elbows, wrist rotation. Again, be careful, because look, they're just separated again. It's quite a problem. Waist joint, hips, full hips. They actually even rotate. Knees, and an ankle rotation that are kind of stuck on mine, so I wanted to keep that safe. Now, the one thing with Jazzworth figures is that their feet are usually warped a little bit, so he can't stand on his own. I've tried, it just doesn't work, but it doesn't matter because, well, if I would hold on to it, it comes with a stand. And having the stand is a great thing, because, look, he stands, and you don't have to do any outside modification. You can just pull out a package, throw it on the stand, it's standing. But yeah, it looks really cool. Of course, you can get him posed. You can get him in a kind of fighting pose, like that. Or you can get him in a running pose if you want, which I try my best at this. Keep that foot forward. Keep his arms back, because it's kind of like Sonic Heroes type deal. And then you just plop him on a stand. And there you got him in a running pose, which looks pretty cool. aside from the little joint mishap right there. But that's not the last one. But you see, there he is. He's running, and then you can put him forward, and looks like he's running. It's pretty good effect. Now, I do have some minor complaints of the figure. The joints. The joints are very, very, very easy to break, especially on this tiny of a figure. Most figures this size are not posable, or if they're posable, it's not very much. Having all these joints does cause hindrance, and there's stress marks in certain places on the blue plastic. I would be careful. Definitely do not be rough with these. They will not hold up. These are definitely not for kids. These are collector's figures. 5-inch, yeah, you can probably give them to kids. Will be fine. But these are definitely collector's grade figures. And that also goes for the cost. These retail for $7. And they're this tiny. I know that seems steep, but it is worth it. I mean, paint, sculpt, detail, the stand, the articulation. The only thing that it lacks is sturdiness. And that's really unfortunate. But be sure you check the figure before you leave the store, because it might have something wrong that you can catch in the packaging, and you can get another one. Unless it's somebody like Silver, and you just have to get the only one there. But luckily, this isn't going to be a problem for the near future, as every figure, starting with the Jet the Hawk from Sonic Freeriders line, every 3-inch figure has now got improved plastic and doesn't have these strut mishaps anymore. Now that I spent enough on Sonic, let's move on. Naturally, the second figure in the line is Tails. Tails is also part of the Series 1 collection, and he has a special ability. He can stand on his own without his little stand. That's because he has these giant tails. They're solid molded plastic, and they look really, really nice. Now, some people complain this figure is a little big in comparison to Sonic, who I do not want to take out this running pose because it's the first time it's been successful. Well, he's supposed to be smaller than Sonic, apparently, but keep in mind that Sonic and Knuckles and Sonic Adventure were 4 years apart. So he probably grew in that time, because these are based on the Sonic Adventure Onward incarnations. So, I mean, it doesn't bug me that much, because it would make sense. But the Classic Tails that's coming out for the 20th anniversary line should be smaller than Sonic, so it should all work out. Articulation-wise, it is the same, except now you have the addition of a tail joint, rotation joint. This is on the newer versions, not the older versions. The older versions, you have to plug the tail in. If you have to do that, it does not rotate, but it rotates here. Now, a little thing I like about this figure is the fact that his hands are actually character-specific, unlike the just generic fists. Also, where was it at? There was one joint. No, it was not. Nope, Tails is fine. He's awesome. You got this kind of pointing, waving type hand that you can have, which is great for Tails, and then he's got kind of like this groping hand. Yeah, it works, because then you can do count up your crimes, bitch, which is awesome, because I love Kamen Rider Double. But, yeah, so you got that, which I think is really cool, and is a great thing to leave him in. Now, the only unfortunate thing, because his tails are solid mold plastic in this position, it's kind of hard to put him in a running pose. The best I can do, especially with the hands being all like they are, the best I can do is take the tails like this, and then he can attempt to run. It just doesn't work, and he mostly falls over. But it's nice that you can try. I'm not that great, I guess, with running poses. But, you know, I'd like to see other people try. But there you go. There is Tails. A great, great figure. I'm going to say it's better than Sonic. It looks like Tails. It's got sturdiness because of his tails. And I really do like the figure. Now, there was one more figure in Series 1 that I do not have, and I don't really care to get. It is Black Knight Sonic. It is this Sonic with a new hand in Caliburn. That game is not in continuity, and it's not that great, and I had the 5-inch version, I just skipped on it, and personally, I'm fine skipping on it. There's really no reason to have it. Starting off with Series 2, we have the Werehog. Yeah, I got this one because Sonic Unleashes in continuity. Yeah. Anyway, this is better than the 5-inch Werehog, though it's still got some problems. The stand is pretty much useless because his feet are all curvy, and his stand makes him do this. Basically, it's got the same fur detail I liked on the 5-inch version, just scaled down, which looks really nice. He's got the same articulation as everybody else. Yeah. But he looks really nice. He does look like the Werehog. Very cool. Now, there is a little Z's that he has. It's called Werehog Knee, because he is the first to have backwards knees. They still go. They just go all the way. It's really freaky. It's really weird. Now, the only complaint I have with this one is his knees or joints are a little loose, so he has issues standing. But if you get him in the right pose, like if you have him ready to punch something, because he's the Werehog and he's angry, he can stand. Let's set it up. Come on, come on. He can stand perfectly fine without his stand. Throwing on his stand actually throws off his balance, which I think is funny. But anyway, yeah. So, it's pretty cool. Not much else to say. It's the Werehog. It's 3-inch scale. I love it. It's amazing. Next up, we have Knuckles. Knuckles is, of course, the guy that first appeared in Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and Sonic and Knuckles, and then everybody else, and everything else afterward. Here we have Knuckles, another great 3-inch figure. Of course, he's got the stand. I'm just going to leave it on. But as you can see, it looks just like Knuckles. And for the first time ever, he doesn't have a flat top. It is actually rounded, so it looks normal. Sorry. Anyway, you got the dreadlock type stuff there. You got the spiked gloves. You've got his shoes with the green socks. And you got his tail in the back there. Which is really, really nice. He looks really good. He's got the same articulation as everybody else. Now, the only thing that's hindered is the head basically does not move. The waist can move, but only as far as that. And the arms cannot move forward, aside from bending his neck joint, which legitimately is scary, because I don't want to break this guy. He was hard enough finding him. So, but yeah, he's really cool, and you can't get him to running poses if you so desire. It's just, yeah, he's just a little head. His head's kind of heavy, so you can keep it like that, and you can be like, I'm gonna headbutt you. Or if you want a more subdued and less space-take-yuppie pose, you can do this and just have him ready to punch something or climb a wall if you so desire. I always thought that was kind of neat how Tails could fly and Sonic was fast and stuff, and then Tails can do everything Sonic can except he can fly, and then Knuckles can do everything Sonic can except he can climb walls. And then there's also Sonic's evil counterpart. And now we have Shadow, representing the 3-inch scale. Now, this is a second version, so he's got these different hands. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. I'm going to borrow he's using the Werehog stand, because the Werehog doesn't need it. Anyway, you can see Shadow here is all nice. Looks very cool. He's got the chest hair down to his rocket boots, which are all nicely detailed. The paint around the gloves is a really nice addition. In the spines, these two are all supposed to be facing down. These are all supposed to be facing up, so props to continuity. And he looks very much like Sonic, being an evil copy and all. And so you can see him here with his evil his good counterpart Sonic there. Even though Shadow's kind of an anti-hero type character, not really a villain, but it was designed to be evil. He does the running pose thing pretty well. He actually looks really badass doing it, because he's Shadow. He always looks badass. And then you get it right like that, and then he's like falling to the right. But when running's nice, but I mean, it just gets tiring after a while. I mean, Wouldn't you rather want to ride on a motorcycle? So, this is the Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing Deluxe Vehicle Shadow, not your regular 3-inch. Well, it basically is the regular 3-inch, except it has holes in his hands, because he comes with a motorcycle. This is the motorcycle he uses in Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing, which I haven't gotten yet, because I'm just waiting for it to go on sale. It looks really nice, because it looks just like his bike in Shadow the Hedgehog, which is always my favorite part of Shadow the Hedgehog. Probably the only good part of Shadow the Hedgehog. But, you see here, it looks really nice. He's even got Shadow's logo here. Now, they've done these vehicles. They've done a car for Sonic, which makes no sense, an ATV for Knuckles, which makes no sense. They've done Tails' plane. It just doesn't look like the one in the mainline games, so I have no interest in it. Plus, I already have Tails. And this is the only way for me to get Shadow at the time. So just bonus, I get an awesome motorcycle. So you can see the little headlight there. I wish there was some coloration inside, but oh well. Got Shadow's logo. You got the engine block back here, which is really cool with the pipes running down. And then he's got the little foot hands and the places to put his hands and the little grips. This is all rubber plastic, by the way. And his tires are rubber. That is cool. It rolls really nicely. It actually rolls really, really smooth. And then you can fold down the kickstand, and there you go. There is Shadow's bike. It is awesome. I mean, yeah, if you're gonna be on a budget and only want to spend $17 or $7 on your figure as opposed to $15 that I paid for this set, you might want to just go with regular Shadow. But the motorcycle is just badass. I mean, if you can find the motorcycle still, I'd totally buy it because it's just badass. I mean, then you can get Shadow, who's got enough articulation so he can get on here. Put his hands through here, sit him down, and there you go. You got Shadow riding the motorcycle, again, looking all badass. The only thing he needs is a gun now, and then we can recreate the epic scene from Shadow the Hedgehog. But yeah, it looks really cool, and I must admit, I like motorcycles because of Kamen Rider. Maybe Shadow's a Kamen Rider. Kamen Rider Shadow. That'd be an interesting concept. Now there was one other figure in Series 2. Silver the Hedgehog from the absolutely terrible Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 game. We're not going to talk about that game. But Silver was pretty much kind of a badass. Kind of being based on Trunks from Dragon Ball, so that's awesome. Now, you're probably wondering, well, Soundout, why don't you have Silver? I mean, you got everybody else, and you like Silver, so why don't you have him? That's because he's extremely rare, and I cannot find him, and I cannot justify paying $20 on eBay for one that I'm not guaranteed will have perfect joints. So, the plan is, wait for the 20th anniversary Sonic line, as there is 2 versions of Silver coming out. There is one with him individually with the Badnik, and there's another one with him in a Sonic, a Sonic comic pack with Shadow. So I have 2 ways of getting Silver this summer. I'm going to go for one of those ways, probably the one with the Badnik, because Badniks are cool. He'll be having the improved plastic, hopefully, and I'm really looking forward to it. But anyway, that is all for today. This is a great start to the 3-inch Sonic line, and we have more to cover. For the rest of the week, we'll be covering the rest of the 3-inch line, beginning with Series 3 and 4 tomorrow, and the 1 Free Riders figures I am buying at the moment. And then stay tuned for Friday, which will be the conclusion of this epic week with the most epic 3-inch scaled figures. Anyway, make sure to check out RidersRangersAndRambles.com. Until next time, Sound saying goodbye. Alright, another day of this week done. Only 2 more to go now. Alright, let's get these guys back on their respective shelves. And let's see, who do we need to put on this one? Let's see, the Werehog. Knuckles. Sonic. Wait a second. I thought I had a Master Emerald up there. Where did it go?